get scary.
Hey, Ban Tinker, that's like the one here you never want to verse as a Terrorblade,
Yeah.
so you've kind of protected the TB pick a bit.
In
So
more illusions from
yeah, like a
SD,
fourth pick TB
things
could be
get
good here.
scary.
Something.
Hey,
Yeah,
Ban
Tinker, that's like the one
definitely
here you
would
never want to verse as a Terrorblade,
Yeah.
so you've
be
kind
on
of
board with.
protected
Yeah,
the TB
I'm on
pick
the
a
same
bit.
page.
In
So
more illusions.
we'll see what Spirit get first, whether they're going to be worried about it, maybe pick some heroes to deal with it. They've got the last pick, so they likely will be saving Iceberg's hero for that 10th pick of the draft, so they can kind of see basically the whole landscape and make sure that, one, he gets a good mid matchup, and two, he's playing a hero that can have a very big influence on the game through the fact that there's not going to be a chance to counterpick it.
Yeah. Another way to like deal with TB is maybe to shut him down during laning phase, and FNG through draft, through game, through any means he can possibly try. He's playing these weird and wonderful roaming heroes. Played like Spirit Breaker. He goes the Slardar roaming, which is relatively normal. But we've also seen him play like Jakiro and Doombringer and things like this, which are relatively unconventional. But maybe one of these out of left field picks could find a nice spot in their draft to move around and control up the lanes a bit.
Yeah, absolutely. He's been very effective on that full position roaming role, and his individual play has definitely been up there. And the drafts have been pretty solid from Team Spirit. I mean, they've come a long way as a new team, and doing as well as they did in the group stages, and looking like a contender here. It's hard to there's VP and then there's everyone else. I think the big question with the CIS players is still can anyone actually beat VP? Navi showed they can still bleed, but they still couldn't quite take them down in the full best of three.
They're
Next
mortal.
few picks come out. Yeah, they are mortal, but whether or not that means they can be beat's another matter. That's a block pick. I feel. I think Empire definitely wanted TB.
Yeah, I think so as well.
I mean, I guess I didn't really think about it for Spirit, and I don't really think it's a great hero against Centaur by any means. It's not terrible, but it's not good. I really think they picked that to stop them getting the SD Terrorblade. SD Luna is not as good. Well, Luna's not that great against Terrorblade because TB outranges Luna, and the reflection is pretty painful for Luna to deal with. So I don't think you really want to pick Luna into the Terrorblade. You may decide, whatever, let's just do it SD Luna. And TB's the better hero against Ursa. So I imagine Empire got caught by surprise by that. That's probably like, wait, crap, we can't get Terrorblade?
Who does that? Who just takes our Terrorblade away from us? I mean, they've got SD Kunkum, and Poshka's played the old Admiral previously. We've got good setups there, but you can have all the setups you want if you don't have the damage to follow through and kill people. If you don't have the carries to actually take advantage of these kills and convert it into farms and items, it's all a loss. And you can see now they're kind of sitting there thinking, what do we do? What do we pick? What's going to happen?
Yeah. It's pretty annoying. Like, I almost want to say, did they get greedy? Like, in a sense, like, you could say they got greedy because they could have third picked it. If it was that obvious they wanted Terrorblade, why not third pick it? But in their minds, they're like, why pick it? They're not going to take Terrorblade. They've got their carry in Ursa. But nice thing about Ursa is he can go mid. TB can also slightly go mid as well. I think they were just so dead set, like, okay, they've got their carry. They're going to 10th pick Iceberg's hero for the mid lane, as teams typically do when you've got second pick. You always save your last pick for your mid. But no, they just said, screw it. This messes up our opponent's draft, and we can make it work. At least they feel they can make it work. We'll see if they can make the TB and the Ursa work, because neither of those heroes match up well against OD right now, and that's where Empire will secure a strong mid laner in the OD. Clears out illusions, wins pretty well in a 1v1 against either TB or Ursa.
It gives them a bit of an edge as well, the fact that maybe now you don't need the Shadow Demon to set up for the Kunkka. You've got Astral and Disruption to both go in for Torrents, so Kunkka can freely move from safe lane to mid lane, look for kills, or at the very least harass. But like you said, OD clears through illusions. He's very good at like kiting Ursa with Hurricane Pike and Astral. But Team Spirit have a Dazzle behind this Ursa and Terrorblade. And all
They
this
do. Look how kited Ursa's going to get. There's double saves from the banish from SD and the OD.
On a Stampede.
There's Stampede, and then there's damage block from both Ghost Ship and the Aghanims later on from the Centaur. The amount of sustain and save on this Empire team through all four heroes is absurd.
And Team Spirit have one disable, right? They've got telekinesis.
Yeah.
When it came to fourth pick, I was wondering about Ember Spirit or Storm, and I thought, well, they're not that good against Ursa and TB, especially if like the wave of pushing comes at 10 minutes, because you need some items up on those two spirits. But like a Storm Spirit, I don't feel would be awful here for Empire, just to be able to jump in and catch the Dazzle. You've got mobility, you're not going to die, you should be able to farm, But I don't know, does that leave them susceptible to anything?
I guess they maybe more looking at it like a Weaver because they want that physical damage and the safe lane hero.
Hmm.
If they go for the Storm, they're looking at, well, I guess OD safe lane is okay, and there's not like anything majorly wrong with it, but perhaps OD and Storm like kind of have too much crossover in their role, and you don't get enough physical damage out of your draft. But you don't necessarily want to go physical damage. You're against a TB.
Troll.
10 seconds remaining.
Troll, yeah.
OD
You want a
Troll.
building hitter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Troll, you got it.
Battle
Perfect.
trance with Arcane Orb, dude. That's so that's so nasty.
Oh my god.
Oh.
And we saw this before too. You get the troll against the Urso, so you have the whirling axes
Yeah.
to try and deal with him in a team fight. If you can get him post enrage with the whirling axes, that mischance can really screw over the Ursa.
Remaining.
I almost feel like we both think Empire's like got this draft
Yeah, right.
potentially locked down with that OD pick.
I love their draft. Yeah, I think the OD pick was great. As soon as I saw the TB, like the TB, the first 5-10 seconds I saw, I'm like, yeah, this TB pick's fantastic. It's such a good block pick. But then when I saw the OD, I'm like, I
Maybe
see
not.
they're kind of screwed. Like I think this TB pick actually shot themselves in the foot. Like I had the same logic I think FNG did, which is like we mess up their draft so much by stealing the TB with them. Like that TB, because I think the problem is the TB would have been a counter pick and Empire would have had a draft advantage with a TB. But guess what? You still have a draft advantage with the OD. So Empire had plenty of options to win this draft with, even with the TB taken away.
And you've gone like off-road from your original drafting plan for Team Spirit as well. Now, last pick, Earthshaker. I was considering Nyx Assassin or something, good against the OD,
Yeah,
got stuns and all that.
Stuns.
But Earthshaker brings stuns to the table as well. You know, he's going to be able to maybe hold the line, but from the off lane, he needs the Blink Dagger. He is pretty greedy. I mean, do you think we might see Iron Talon Earthshaker for once?
Not sure. Not a big fan of that by any means. Also, just again, the Earthshaker pick is
10 seconds
tough to get the blink
remaining.
here. There's no good like dual lane partner. Sometimes you see like an Earthshaker Coddle type
5
lane, which
seconds
maybe
remaining.
gives the Earthshaker a bit of more farming potential. But Earthshaker with a Rubik or a Dazzle, neither dual lane seems all that potent or scary. So, no, I think it's the kind of pick they needed because it is lockdown. But like the Nyx you mentioned may have been the easier to execute option in terms of the lane. But I think this is also a comfort hero. I've seen DK Phobos play. He used to play a lot of Earthshaker. Not maybe as much of a comfort hero as his Broodmother, but a comfort hero nonetheless. So you're in a game 3 decider. Stick to something that's worked before and something that your player wants to be on.
Absolutely. Well, FN going to take up that OD and head towards mid. They're all smoked up, and they did get a ward down over towards that Dire side of the map. Not scouted out or anything, I don't think. Well, the Dire did a very similar job. Rubik went and placed one in the Radiant jungle. There's one up on high ground mid for both teams. Everything's pretty standard.
Yep.
I'm going to have a look at the players. Ghostic Centaur offlane. And Miposhka playing that Kunkka. Going to be roaming around. He's got his Windlace. I think likely just going to go for the Torrent level 1. You've got the Disruption and the Astral, as we've mentioned, both to set up for it. And then your safe lane, Chappie on the Troll. He's got that lovely new set as well. Was that from the Chinese New Year event, I think? I can't remember what it was. What was it called? The one with the big invoker you had to kill. Oh, God.
Oh, yeah, I know what you mean.
With the chickens that drop gold everywhere. I can't remember what it was called now. It was fun. It was fun regardless. King R on the Shadow Demon, then over on the Team Spirit side, DK Phobos Earthshaker. Iceberg actually going to start towards the mid lane rune spot for the bounty. Will be that Ursa Warrior, FNG the Rubik. And top lane, BCC Terrorblade, followed up by Vanscore's Dazzle behind him. And these lanes, you know, Ursa up against the OD mid. What's going to happen there, gods?
The battle begins.
Not good things. If it's a straight 1v1, FNG is going to help out. He's got boots. He's going to be trading hits a bit and using the telekinesis to pull OD into the Ursa's Fury Swipes damage if he gets too aggressive. So it'll be a little bit better because of the Rubik's presence. But similarly on the Radiant side, you've got Kunkka there, so a bit harder to help out this mid lane with a Kunkka. You've got to land those torrents, so we'll see how well Miposhka can do here.
He's hiding back in the trees. FNG is going to get a few clicks in onto FN though. Try and make his life a little bit more miserable. King R is de-warding and getting himself in a good position in his Radiant jungle, but he's not going to find the Observer ward, which was placed a little deeper there.
Oh, missed Astral at mid.
Oh dear. FN takes a few unnecessary hits.
Yeah, he got pulled in by the telekinesis and went for the Astral, but right-clicked a creep accidentally. Oh, well, sorry, left-click with the Astral instead of the Ursa hero. We'll Yeah, gets most of the salve regen before it's cancelled.
FNG's playing very forward with this. Oh yeah, you're looking at that Earthshock level 1 from Ursa. Now he's level 2 with the Fury Swipes. He can do a little more damage, but what's the cooldown? 5-second cooldown on Earthshock. Every time I see that, I'm always so surprised it's such a low cooldown ability, and he goes in on FN, holding the Astral, so he's always going to be okay, but Iceberg, with the help of FNG, is doing reasonably well in this lane. I mean, definitely exceeding expectations.
Yeah, and FNG's like trying to hold this shrine to stop the OD from going over there, perhaps. But yeah, he's holding his own for now. All it took was a bit of Rubik harass. If it was a straight 1v1 from the start, this lane wouldn't have gone as well. But one telekinesis set him up for success. But now the torrent. Oh, mistimed.
Now Iceberg goes in for a bit of a kill. FN maybe gets lifted. FNG body blocks, but they still get the lifted. Iceberg, oh god, very fires down. FN is 2 more hits. 1 more hit is all they need. He's walking up onto high ground. They've got a salve over on Iceberg. He's got the Astral up, but they've killed him off. FNG finds the kill, and now Torrent Miposhka is not. Oh, he will land it this time, but the damage output's not good enough. Miposhka's on the run now, and these 2 low HP heroes from the Dire team have managed to kill the OD and retreat with their lives intact until King R. Disruption onto Ursa. TP in from Dazzle. Grave is not there. He's got the Shadow Wave instead. The heal comes through. And King R, that DD rune, it doesn't help you when you're being right-clicked down and killed off by FNG and Vanskor. This is a disaster at the mid lane as Team Spirit clear up a number.
And a 3-man shrine. That's some very efficient value shrine usage from the Team Spirit tri lane. Well, I say tri lane, it's become one in this mid lane. FNG has secured the mid lane well and truly with his aggression, and boy, Iceberg has played this lane very well.
Hey, he really has. Again, the PMS carriers win the lanes. PMS on the Ursa, looking pretty good. Chappie in the meantime, bottom lane. He's neck and neck with the Terrorblade in terms of CS, so that's as expected really, but Terrorblade, well, speaking of him, he's going in for a bit of go on to Ghost Stick with the Shadow Wave out. And it's good harass and damage, but BCC, no points in Reflect. He's actually gone for 2 points in Conjure Image, and I don't think I've ever seen that before.
No, this is pretty standard, I'd say. You mean what, like not getting... I think no reflection is normal-ish.
Okay.
You just go for this is like the more farming build.
But not even like the second point in Metamorphosis for the duration and...
Well, it's on cooldown, that's the thing, he used it at level 1.
Okay.
So it's like, by the time Metamorph is back up, he's gonna have level 4, so it doesn't matter.
I've seen so many TPs go for like the value point in Reflection, just use it almost on cooldown just to spam it out for harass, but...
The hero has mana issues now because of the Metamorphosis costing 100 mana. I've played quite a bit of TB, and it's like one of those things where... And also Reflection's been nerfed a ton. That spell used to be absurdly good at level 1, but they've nerfed it enough that the level 1 Reflection is just not really as much of a value point. And then the mana issues, combined with the mana issues of Metamorphosis, the hero doesn't really want to spam Reflection that much. Okay. So
Iceberg, he spotted FN, and Astral will have to be thrown out. King R actually completes the TP. Disruptions on CD for 2 seconds time, but they've got Miposhka in the vicinity as well, and with this setup, they've got the Torrent to land onto Iceberg. Damage output, though, is just non-existent. But DK Phobos walking over in, looking towards FN, cancels out the regen rune, it looked like there, as he was making his way back up to full HP and mana. Finally, Iceberg gets zoned out of lane, but it's so much commitment, right? 2 supports plus the mid laner just to deal with this one Ursa.
And some of those, like, nerfs to some of these heroes, like the Kunkka Torrent damage just doing next to nothing to the Ursa. Shadow Demon Disruption Illusions doing nothing as well because of the Poor Man's Shield. Those Disruption Illusions were actually doing 0 damage. That's crazy, just how tanky the Ursa looks against that SD Kunkka duo. And SD, by the way, level 1 at 5 minutes into the game.
He's very close to level 2. He's 1 creep away, but...
All right. Sure, okay, we can call level 2. Level 2 at 5 minutes.
It's still bad. It's still pretty bad. I'm with you on this.
Yeah,
oh, poor little guy. King R maybe can look to stack and pull a little bit, but I think Chappie is going to take control of the jungle now. Just walks back in, he's shoved his way forward. He'll take the large camp and probably go back into lane at this point. But you've just taken one of the pull spots away from your support.
Yep, the options become a bit more limited. King R at least got XP for that camp, so he gets his level 2 now. Realistically, they really want to kill, and that's what Troll's going to look for on DK Phobos, but freaking, it's going to be close. Not going to be able to get it, though.
Has the phase boots, but Why the chain stun out from Earth Spirit? I'm so used to saying Earth Spirit, Earth Shaker, Earth Shaker. I've seen so much Earth Spirit and not enough Earth Shaker that it's just like ground into my head and can't change it. Right, Earth Shaker will get away. Yes. Mid lane looks like FNG is trying to set up for something again, but both teams have perfect vision over each other. Two observables there, one for the Dire, one for the Radiant. Yeah, they see FNG standing and waiting, ready for his movement into mid lane. Iceberg's on half HP though. FN. He moves forward, aggressively looking for this because he's got two people behind him. The TP comes in from Dazzle, but finally the Torrent combo. In they go with the Stomp, the Double Edge, and the Disruption will come out from SD. DK Phobos lines up the Fisher, catches onto the OD, but this is not going to be a fight that Team Spirit can take. I'll just allow the Rubik to die, reset, and move back to where they were.
Good disruption stops the Grave coming out, because that would have been like a huge resource hero investment to get a kill. That would have backfired if that Grave came out, but it's still just a Rubik. I feel like that's where it's like, does that really solve that many of your problems if you're Empire? You're still losing these lanes quite a bit. FN's still struggling, playing kind of catch-up mode in this mid lane, so this game's still not going all too well outside of perhaps Chappie's farm and the Troll in the safe lane, but Spirit continuing to find kills. They get another one off of the Metamorphosis, and Ghostix TP out, barely makes it.
It does. Looks like it was a Sunder used as well, so I don't know if Empire were playing aggressively into the TB, then he managed to turn it with that, but regardless, they find a decent kill and keep that TB farming away. They're drawing attention away from this this Ursa Warrior, perhaps. Echo Slam and the Fade Bolt. Oh, hello! FNG and DK Phobos just walk up to the Troll and say goodnight.
That is not what you want to see from your most farmed hero if you're in Empire's shoes. Things were going okay-ish until those couple of kills. Like the lanes weren't being won by any means, but at least they were getting acceptable farm across their three cores. I mean, OD perhaps the one that was struggling the most. But now with those couple of kills on the farm Troll and the top lane, suddenly things not going well at all.
And we're seeing these Astral into Torrent combos, you know. Sure enough, the first one missed, but every single one after that has landed. But it just doesn't feel like it has any impact. It's just spells being used for the sake of using spells. There's no sort of end goal. There's no like, right, after this we'll kill him, or we're chipping away enough HP to push into the tier 1 or something like that. Iceberg just seems content to tank it. Like, sure, use your spells on me. It means my TB's farming.
Yeah, there's no damage output. The OD's level 7 only. He's only got the 1 point in Arcane Orb. Unless they rotate the Centaur like they did when they killed the Rubik, the Astral Torrent combo is not getting kills. The Centaur is the hero that perhaps needs to show up. If not him, it's like the Troll, but Troll's kind of still at that farming stage. Until Troll's got a Helm of the Dominator, I don't think we'll see him get all too involved.
Poor little SD. I mean, Shadow Demon dying isn't the most meaningful thing, but DK Phobos getting money is a pretty big deal for Team Spirit. Now up to Soul Ring Tranquils, 300 gold saved up isn't massive by any means, but it's just those little steps, you know. It's baby steps towards Blink, and eventually you'll get there. Eventually you'll have it, and it'll come out of the gates swinging into Team Empire, who they're looking for things like Hand of Midas on OD to build himself up into the mid-game teamfight powerhouse that he can be, while Troll Warlord is still actually yet to finish off. Wait, hang on, is he going for Helm? Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I was really worried there. I was like, oh wait, where's his item? FNG jumped on Troll. Bash, stun, X mark.
Oh, we got the X.
That'll be the one.
That was like the very last millisecond possible. He got that off.
The frame perfect X mark.
Yeah. Iceberg's got a Helm of the Dominator. He's going for Roche. May get found out. Yeah, Odie's going to check it and instantly Astrals him up.
They've got Stampede if they want to bring more men into this. Iceberg's still in the pit. And Roshan wanders out, and so does Iceberg. Stampede in, Chappie walks forward, but in comes the TB. Metamorphosis is there, the Torrent lands on the two of them. And OD, actually throws the hammer down, but Grave is out from Vanscore. Saves up one, Chappie in a bit of trouble. Echo Slam at the ready, slows him down, stuns him up, but down he goes. Chappie's gone, and this is Empire full retreat now. And opens up Roshan for Ursa Warrior to perhaps go back in once he's regened at this shrine.
Well, they've even used the big ultis. They've used Stampede and they've used the OD Sanities. They haven't got level 6 on the supports. Kunkka level 4 only, so no Ghost Ship. But it seems Spirit want to secure themselves this T1 mid. Very coveted objective here in the early game. And if BZZ can secure that for his team early on, they'll be in a pretty nice position here.
That's a great steal from FNG. Level 2 Torrent. Telekinesis into Torrent is a pretty nifty combo. Empire posturing to defend the Astral one, but there's the Torrent onto 2-man. The Fisher comes through as well, and oh my goodness, Empire, what have you done? You're going 2v5 into Team Spirit, pushing into Tier 1, and you have just given away 2 free kills, and looks like it's going to be a free Roshan as well.
Man, FNG has been such a playmaker on this Rubik, from securing the early game for the Ursa to plays like that. A 2-man Torrent setting up the Fissure against the Telekinesis. And that'll get them a Roshan here, I can only imagine. Don't really see any real counterplay options available to stop this. Tro still doesn't have Helm of the Dominator? Well, he's really far behind, it looks like.
I thought it was on the... What was on the courier?
Yeah.
It was Ring of Aquila that was
up.
on the courier.
Oh, okay.
Oh dear.
Yeah. That's...
How is the Troll so far behind?
Well,
I guess
he died that one time to the Echo Slam. He's like, you'll see his net worth is like okay. It's not as farmed as a Terrorblade, but
I guess he has gone for PMS and Quelling and Aquila and Helm of the Dominator. So there's like lots of small incremental items.
Yeah, normally you don't see all of those small items. You'll see like, if you go the Poor Man's Shield, then you skip the Aquila, but it's gone for the full trifecta.
Gone for all of the little things. I mean, he's got Helm now,
Just
so...
need the magic one, you know?
Oh yeah, that's true. And Magic One. See, remember when all those little items came out, like Raindrops and Orb of Venom got changed, but Windlace and Blightstone. Yeah, I was like, right, I'm going to be a support. I'm going to buy all of these items. I'm going to run around and just kill people. And then I realized that it's completely inefficient. You're wasting gold and you don't have enough item slots to do that. And this is something that you do have to consider as a troll. The one-role hero here, you know, he's not just a walking ulti. It isn't just a battle trance for the OD. He is the carry. He is the carry on this team. He has to... Yeah, I mean, slot redundancy is a massive problem for him and will be in the upcoming minutes.
So if OD was doing well, you wouldn't worry too much about your troll not having like a peak farm, but he's not doing well. He gets found again in this mid lane, and that's his 3rd death of the game. 2 in pretty quick succession. I think he actually hit a decent Midas timing, and it looked like FN was going to be able to recover after his tough early game, but that's quickly changed. Those 2 deaths have completely offset his recovery, and his recovery, yeah, it was getting him back on track, but all of a sudden he's dying. DK Phobos is going to have a blink on Earthshaker, and then there's going to be another threat that can kill him. The killing combos just continue to add up for Team Spirit to make this game harder and harder, and FN just seems to be struggling to find any way back into this game.
Yeah, it feels like only a minute ago I was saying baby steps for DK Phobos to get the blink, and now he's on 2,000 gold after, what, a tier 1 mid, tier 1 bottom lane will probably secure that gold for him, as well as the team fight that ensued around the Roshan pit in the middle lane, and the line is drawn saying, hey guys, let's go mid. We've got blink soon on ES. We've got all the tools at our disposal. I mean, Rubik doesn't have anything stolen just yet, but Metamorphosis is up with the Dragonlance, and BCZ, I feel, is in a great spot to fight without OD having levels. Like you're mentioning, he is behind, but not having the Arcane Orb to actually deal with illusions, that was meant to be the entire plan behind the OD.
Definitely, yeah, a big part of the pick, and well, he's just gonna have to keep on farming, playing that recovery for some time while objectives are going to be lost. Aegis being on the Ursa allows Iceberg to play super aggressive, even without a blink, and once the blink comes up, things just get worse. So it seems like Empire just, you know, avoid fights, similar to last game, avoid fights, look for the trades. The trades are not going to be the most effective one, so they're just trading a bit of farm. I don't really see them getting this tier 2 top tower. They're waiting around hoping someone comes to farm so they can take the pick off. Chappie will show himself to try and tempt the TP up here, but if anything, Spirit just forced high ground. They've held Metamorphosis. They didn't even have to use it for the high ground push, but I think they've decided they haven't really got the damage. They don't have the Manta on TB. Going for the Dragonlance first means he's not quite got all the illusions to push with just yet.
And in a position like this, where they've just warded behind the tier 2 mid, they're pushing hard into the tier 2 mid with like the full force of their army. They're actually smoking up DK Phobos and Iceberg, and this could be big for them, but no one's pushed out down on that ramp. FN makes the right decision and moves towards the mid lane, but still the vision here, the net is closing around this map for Empire.
Not sure, yeah, it's kind of the right decision, but also if he steps to the low ground, that ward will spot him and he may just get jumped by the Shaker. So we'll see how much of a right decision it is. He's being pinged. I think he showed himself for a split second there, and that's something that Spirit will capitalize on if they get a chance to.
This tense moment where like one misstep by the OD. I guess he's got SD behind him to disrupt, but after that he's still dead, right? There's no force staff or anything. There's nothing to actually get away
I think so.
from being disrupted.
And they'll do some damage now to the tier 3 tower. It looks like the remaining metamorphosis duration.
What the fuck? He just died to a TB illusion. He disrupted a TB illusion and dies to a TB illusion. King R, 3 hits and you're gone. The blink goes in. FN maybe has to turn in Astral here. Pops the shrine though. Torrent will slow things a little bit. Team Spirit on the advance though, and in comes TB. The Echo Slam from Phobos. OD's gone with no buyback. And Chappie, you're a troll warlord. Sure, you've got battle trance, okay, but you have no damage. And Iceberg knows this. Runs in with the whirling axes out. He does have the mischance apply to him, but now Rubik caught with the Torrent after the Centaur combo. But it's a grave out onto Rubik that saves him up, and OD is still dead for 30. FNG might just give his life up for this one, but no. Is he okay? He's fine. The Fisher trapped him in. The X mark was there. Drags him back into death. But that is scary stuff. You lose your OD, your SD, half HP or a third of the HP gone from that tier 3. And Team Spirit now have the full map to farm, right?
Yeah. And they got 2 kills, a big kill on the OD, and only lose a Rubik for it and get the damage out on the tier 3 tower. They did lose that top tier 2 tower, but it felt like that was a position they weren't really intent on defending anyways. They'd kind of lost vision around the area. Empire were too set up, so yeah, they can fall back, use this map control. They did all this before TB even has his Manta style. Like, BZZ is not exactly, like, he's the most fun player in the game, but he's not exactly at that point where you expect TB to be pushing high ground. Normally you think maybe 25 minutes with Manta and Dragonlance, or I guess maybe that's a bit going to be early, more like 20 minutes this game, but realistically, Spirit just, like, they're ahead of the clock right now. They're ahead of their timings and doing incredibly well in this game 3.
Just have to calm down a little bit and don't get too over eager. The blink reveal on Ghost Stick will find the Ursa with a combo out from Kunkka. Enrage keeps him alive though, and the boat is stolen. Iceberg's still there, and Vanskor available with a heal in the grave. The weave popped out, and SD will be sacrificed to the gods, it feels like, as long as DK Phobos can catch him, but apparently he can't. X-Mark from Iposhka holds them out again, and the TP from King R allows him to return to safety, but now FNG is on the case. They see the Kunkka, he'll try and Torrent and TP, and actually might succeed. Nah, they've got him. Drag him into the arms of the TB, and eventually, BCZ will find him.
This is a pretty good place to find yourself if you're Team Spirit. You're like, oh,
Tier 1.
chased our way to a kill at the top lane? No problem, we'll take 2 towers here. They've got Metamorphosis. This should just be 2 towers, unless they defend their side lanes, which it looks like DK Phobos showing the push up top. He's hunting. No Echo Slam, but he may not need it.
Fisher with the Enchant Totem and the boat combo from FNG! The Rubik telekinesis with the steal and FN not going to bother to Astral or Force Staff. He knew he was dead. And again,
That's brutal.
He's gone for quite a while.
That was such a sick move from FNG and DK Phobos, knowing they had the tower up top and that OD sees what's going on top and he's thinking he's totally safe bottom. Like, that's the play that most carries / mids are going to make once that 5-man push is coming up top, but it turns it quickly into a 3-man push, and the blink initiation with the Rubik follow-up gets a massive kill for Team Spirit.
And that's all outer towers gone, and Roshan is up potentially soon.
That's, 2 towers and an OD kill. Well, not to mention the Kunkka kill slightly before that, so yeah, they'll be looking to secure themselves that Roshan.
Bottom lane.
Slam available. Phobos may have overstepped his boundaries.
Oh, well, maybe not. FNG's here to save the day. Perhaps he takes out the disruption from the SD, turns around on the troll and got illusions on him. FNG purged up another Fade Bolt, another Urn. Maybe he can kill Chappie before he goes down, but not quite. Chappie survives. The Fisher comes through, and DK Phobos will find that kill. A 1-for-1, but always in favor of Team Spirit when they trade as support for the one roll of your opponents. Oh, dearie me.
He was like a millisecond away from getting a Fade Bolt off and winning that battle against the troll. That is brutal stuff. They're killing the carries. That's the insane thing here. This is a Rubik Shaker creating space at bottom lane. Rubik Shaker just killed OD and troll and only lost Rubik in the process of doing that. And not just killing the 2 cores, but it was the Shadow Demon down there as well. The entire time this is going on, TB is farming, Ursa's farming, they're taking towers, they're securing themselves a position advantage around the Roche pit. Everything is going wrong for Team Empire here in the Game 3 decider.
Just look at the gap between the supports as well. SD you kind of expect to be down at the bottom, 2,000 net worth, but Kunkka The roaming 4, you'd love to see him with at least arcane boots or an ether lens or something, but sub 3k at this point. Even the Dazzle has overtaken him with a medallion as well as the arcane boots. So actually, well, looks like Dazzle wants to buy a soul ring. He's got it in his quick buy, but that's a weird one. Topped around the Roche pit. DK Phobos was trapped in by his own Fisher, but the Yule Scepter there's the Blink Stomp and a good grave. Saves him up, and maybe he can turn and fight. He's got no mana, but 10 stick charges available there. No, he's gone. Chappie finds the double. And Empire win a fight around the Roche pit. Unfortunately for them, it's not quite alive.
Oh, that's crushing. They're probably just like, what are we going to do to get ourselves a Roche? I imagine Dazzle may have misclicked the Solar Crest and clicked the Soul Ring instead, is my guess there, by the way.
That makes
he
sense.
He typed SO and then he like tried to
shift
Q it and just clicked the wrong one. But who knows, we'll see. Maybe there's a Soul Ring.
Ghost Stick has found one. The Enrage and Grave onto Iceberg. This might be his death though. He turns to try and fight, but he's gone.
Yeah,
and OD
stolen
some ends. Okay. And now Roshan isn't that far away. They'll go in and check and be like, come on, what do we have to do?
Well, not the Roche timing they would hope for, and OD TP's bottom, which kind of gives up any hope for securing that Roche. Since they can look to secure it, but it'll be with Ursa back alive most likely, as FN will farm and push out this lane. But he's got a Hurricane Pike. All of a sudden, OD is all suddenly just in a great position, and they've got the items now to actually kite and deal with this Ursa a whole lot better. So this game kind of gets back to even off of a few pickoffs there. It's still like a 3,000-4,000 gold lead for Team Spirit, but in terms of hero composition, what Centaur with the Stampede brings to the table, as far as kiting, we talked about all the save and the sustain on this Empire side. I like their draft better this game. They just got crushed in the early game. FNG's Rubik just put them behind. Like, I think individual plays is what is causing Spirit to win this game, but draft and execution can get Empire back into it.
Absolutely. I mean, we were looking at the disparity between the supports, but when you now look at the cores, Ursa and Earthshaker, especially the Ursa Warriors, are a good 1,500, 2,000 behind the OD and the Troll. I mean, sure enough, TB's up and ahead, but you can't have all your eggs in one basket when that basket is being crushed by Arcane Orbs from this Outlaw Devourer who nearly has a BKB. It's about 800 gold away from it if he wants to go for it without buyback. But the smoke from Team Spirit won't come to anything. They'll group around Roshan, and it looks like they will try and secure that one for themselves, but Empire will not let this one go loosely. They are already running up, waiting to smoke, waiting to get into position, and Roshan is going to probably drop to about half HP before Empire get there. This is going to be a close one. Iceberg, oh, he's on half HP as well. If they can jump in and catch him, and it looks like they might be able to. The Grave is there onto the Ursa Warrior, but he's on low HP, and the rest of the fight kicks off in the back. They've killed off the SD. TB's in a decent spot, but Chappie, he runs on through. The reflection is down, and these TB illusions, they're shredding through Empire. FN didn't get much done with his ultimate, apart from killing off Iceberg, and the boat is coming through. Lands onto DK Phobos, but oh no, no! Earthshaker's gone, the Sunder's down, but BZZ's left all alone, high and dry against Chappie and FN, and the damage is too great. They've got him, they've got all four, they've killed them all. Ghost Stick's escaping with a... Nope, no HP. Barely any HP left on him. FNG finds that kill, but it's a 5-man wipe. As Empire, like you said, through execution and the superior draft, which we both liked, manages to clear through Team Spirit in and around the Roshan pit.
Yeah, I mean, a risky call to begin with. Ursa was like down to like 3rd HP in the Roche. He had no way of fighting there. He gets caught by the Hoof Stomp double edge and almost gets killed immediately. And from there, it's such a tough fight for Spirit. They're basically taking a 4v5 fight because of how low Iceberg was. And well, the TB was pretty scary and strong in the Metamorphosis, but eventually, once they clear out the supporting line, they Earthshaker, unfortunately, if he hits that Echo Slam, he kills the Troll. And I think killing the Troll means TB doesn't die as well there. So he was just a fraction of range away from hitting that Echo Slam, and it could have been a very, very different fight.
Well. OD with Aegis, BKB, treads, 500 gold, and the money just keeps on flowing in. He's actually now leapfrogged over the top of the TB. Yep. To the top spot in net worth.
And look at the levels. This TB is not very high level. OD's level 19,
Whoa.
Level 17 on Troll, and the highest level on Spirit's 15 on this Shaker of all people.
Earthshaker?
Like, I mean, we knew Ursa was struggling. Like, TB, as farmed as he is, has mostly been grouped up with his teams, taking towers, and maybe even it's just his illusions farming the jungle, because he is very under-leveled. for a Terrorblade, considering his farm.
That's now a 10,000 experience lead for Empire over Team Spirit. I mean, the lead that they had in net worth, Team Spirit, that's dwindled. That's gone. 7.5k is now almost up to 2,500 in Empire's favor.
They got another smoke too. I'm actually like Empire. The fact they've held onto these smokes for so late has really played to their advantage and like allowed them to win that fight at Roche and now perhaps get a follow-up fight in their favor.
And imagine when Centaur gets his Ags. Like, he's got the point booster already. He's like 2,000 away from it or so. When he's got that Aghanim Scepter, what do you do to deal with this team? There's, you know, mischance from axes, there's battle trance to give all this attack speed, a stampede to reduce damage, and Team Spirit, they can keep... This is the trouble with Dazzle and why I feel like it's kind of fallen out of favor a lot, is that you have these heroes like TB, like Ursa, who get up in the front lines and sure, you can grave them, but when the grave ends, what do you actually do? They can't blink away, they can't retreat, they're just kind of stuck there and die anyway.
Yeah. I think that's where Dazzle as a hero even largely fell off, because people realize like grave to save a hero doesn't really do a whole lot if they die at the end of the grave. It's just like a delaying thing.
Unless it's Huskar.
Yeah, unless it's Huskar. I mean, for a little while, Oracle became the flavor support, because Oracle didn't just save the hero, but he actually killed them back up, but then Oracle got nerfed, so then it became like the Shadow Demons, and now people are just like, who cares about picking saving support, because there aren't really any good ones. Let's get the...
damage.
Let's get these playmaking ones, yeah. Let's get the damage dealing ones.
Let's kill some people. And Kunkka so far, I mean, you know, this boat, so often you just, you know, throw it into a team fight and thinking, right, it's going to stun and damage and it's going to look cool, but having the damage reduction of boat and of stampede when he has his Ags, can Spirit actually do... I wonder what the maths is on that actually. I need to ask Blaze when we finish this game and get him to send out a tweet or something. What, like... the damage reduction and like the damage delay and the stampede, how do they interact between each other?
Yeah, I guess it's like
that's a weird one.
You get probably diminishing returns on them, so it's like I don't know which I don't know which one's going to apply first or whatever, but you'll probably just apply one of them and then apply the other to whatever damage is dealt. They
might have caught a couple in their jungle. Team Spirit have walked into a really dangerous area. DK Phobos is actually X'd up in the back end. FN has astraled another and is looking for a kill onto Iceberg. The heal comes through and Iceberg turns to fight. FN, Aegis and BKB at the ready, and another X mark comes through. The boat is down and Iceberg trapped next to his shrine and still dies. Another kill, a third one in fact, was what, the Terrorblade? What? How did
I don't know how that happened.
Okay.
I was watching the OG. So.
Yeah.
He got the kill. I think it was probably Demonic Purge and then like a Troll Bash.
Yo.
Is the Defusal too, so they can basically chase him down.
FN's not done. He even pops his BKB for this. He finds the Rubik and yep, one more hit will do it.
He's not happy with FNG this game. Like FNG has ruined his early game.
Or last game even.
Yeah,
or the game before even.
That's one of those like spite BKB kills where he's just like, I'm using this BKB to kill you because of what you've done to me. So.
16 to 16. Kill score looks even, but the actual game in hand is anything but at this point. Empire rampaging their way across the other side of the map, and they'll take the last outer tower of Team Spirit at this point.
2 towers in this, so Troll getting a lot of money for himself. And
Troll's BKB will come back off cooldown soon as well. Oh, how long does Aegis last over on the OD? Okay. Thank you.
Yeah,
it's literally expiring right now.
Thanks Obama.
Yeah. Good timing. Good timing. Oh, FN.
Just X him in, blink in, gets him in.
What? Oh my god, he nearly killed him! He popped the BKB! Holy shit!
Whoa.
And that was with what, like 15 stolen int? That wasn't a massive amount of int stolen. OD had like maybe 15 to 20. Okay. Oh, okay.
What's he done?
TB nearly, OD nearly killed the TB.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I saw that. Okay. Well then, that's worrying, concerning. There's a Solar Crest now on Kunkka, which is a fantastic item against both Ursa and TB. Single target right-click damage. Well, Solar Crest, chuck it on the OD or whoever's getting hit. Give him the evasion, give him that bonus armor, and you're in trouble. And OD's going into a Shivers next, it looks like, which is also going to further negate that physical damage. Once you negate the physical damage, the 2 supports, Dazzle and Rubik, and the offlane Shaker do pretty minimal damage. Shaker with a big Echo Slam can do damage. I think he realizes his team lacks magic damage, so he's going into a unconventional build with the. Oh, actually, sorry, I want to talk about the Ags on Sacred does something completely different now. He gets the blinking teleport, Echo,
Yeah, the jumpy,
Echo Stomp. But
the jumpy enchant totem.
see how he does with this. He's going in for a kill top.
Chappie has jumped on, but look at this. Stampede, and Boat, and Kills, and Death, and Team Spirit ripped apart and killed off. The three of them have gone. BZZ TPs the hell away. The Initiators get absolutely turned inside out by Empire. But Chappie took no damage. He got stampeded and Rum landed on him, and all of a sudden he's literally taking no damage.
Yeah, that was something. That's the beauty of having those opening 4 picks we talked about. You've got damage mitigation, very high damage mitigation from both Kunkka and Centaur, and then you've got the saves from Astral as well as Disruption. It's so hard to secure yourselves kills. And Team Spirit are just going to struggle the more this game goes on against these heroes. They're going to probably turn this into more of a split push game using the Terrorblade, but the BKB Manta, Dragonlance, like he's gone for the defensive fighting items. Like you go for a BKB to try and team fight, but now that it's a split push game, you'd rather have like a Butterfly or the Skadi. And we're going to see, I think, Team Spirit really struggle to defend their high ground and take fights now.
Especially when DK Phobos nearly dies to the OD within a matter of seconds. Disruption from King R. Keep FN safe for now, but it's an Astral stolen by Rubik, which could be a nice little gimmick to play into these team fights, help him out. But FN's going to go for the X-Mark Blink play again. Jumps in, 1, 2, 3, hits onto Iceberg, forces the Enrage. And they will bring him back.
I guess. I mean, later in this game, that free int makes a big difference at that level 25. You get the plus 60 second steal duration.
Yeah.
Even now, 80 seconds is pretty formidable, so just using an X to get yourself like 15, 20 int is more than worth it.
Are they going to do it again, I guess? Miposhka's like waiting around.
Probably. Waiting for a target, probably. There we go.
And the Shivers Guard, and, well, FNG was that self-Astral. It looks like it. And then an Astral from OD? He's still stuck in the base and the Stampede's there. That's not how that works.
Yeah. I actually wasn't sure if I thought the Astral actually pulled you back with the X, but I guess not. Disruption you do, right? If you're X, don't you still get pulled?
I'm wondering now how the interaction works, because like if you hook someone and they get disrupted, they land at the location they would have been hooked to, not where they were disrupted at, right? And I'm pretty sure
Hook's like hard coded that way.
Yeah, Hook's hard coded that way. But with X-Mark, I wonder if you have to like manually X-Mark them back while they're astraled. Like if it expires, I don't know. It's Dota 2 stuff, mechanic stuff. Just things happen because.
I know Yule Scepters Yule's is used as an X counter, but I'm not 100% sure on the Astral as a counter to the X marks the spot pullback. But either way, look, FN did not get pulled back by the X there, so he needs to be careful about using that X, using the Astral when he is X'd and going in aggressive. Looks like Empire, though, have got themselves in the Roche pit, looking to secure this one. Got plenty of damage, assuming OD can get off this cliff. Although for now, it looks like he's just going to hang up there, let Chappie solo it. He wants to use this high ground advantage. They're expecting Spirit to come contest this, but Spirit are just not having any of it. They are so afraid right now.
They're miles away. Absolutely.
I mean, look, Empire are like playing this cautiously. I mean, I wouldn't say Empire is afraid, but they're definitely like using preventative measures here for some aggression from Spirit. But there is no aggression anywhere near.
Radiant's bottom tower
FN
is
just
under
wanders off
attack.
alone. He doesn't have a fear in the world with Blink, Hurricane Pike, and obviously the Aegis now up on him. Actually was maybe looking for a straggler over in the dire jungle, but now you've got Aegis Cheese, you've got pretty much everything you need to try and break high ground here. The only additional factor you might want is a pick on a TB or an Ursa, or I think maybe more importantly Earthshaker. He is that one fight swinging or fight starting hero that can really set things off in a good pace for Team Spirit, potentially on top of one of these ramps. But you look towards bot. Ghostic, he's not really someone you want to go on. BZZ TP's out. Vanscore heals the wave, but he's going to get stomped. But no, he's not, apparently. TP's out successfully.
Cooldown. He used it to farm an illusion, so it's still on cooldown for a millisecond, perhaps.
Oh,
but he'll join up with his team, has Tranquils and perhaps heals. Well, I guess he doesn't have many heals. There's no urns or anything or mechs, so they haven't got the best sustain on this Radiant side, but not sure if they're really in a rush to push right now. he's queued up a refresher, so he's going to have, I mean, talk about damage block and all that. Refresher is just going to give him that double stampede for a team fight for initiation and save, as well as just using it for blocking certain spells and damage output.
It's been a never-ending climb here for Empire as well. Like there's, I mean, very few hiccups after that nice little comeback play around the Roche pit, but it's high ground time. Troll, not going to be the first one up there. It will be FN again with the X mark. FNG holds him in place with the Astral. Let's see what happens this time. He pops his BKB, stands to fight, drops the Sanity's Eclipse, but doesn't kill Rubik. Self-yules, and FNG keeps himself alive. Now, Sanity's Eclipse is stolen. Not bad, not amazing, but can burn a decent amount of mana and all that stuff out. How much int does Rubik have? He's got a decent chunk, but...
It's okay, yeah. It's probably going to be better for just, yeah, the mana burn like you mentioned against some of these heroes, but it's like a spell you'd rather use as soon as possible and probably get a new one. Either way, though, not the optimal outcome from FN's aggression there. He uses his BKB, so I imagine Empire will perhaps slow roll this a bit now. Wait for that BKB to come back up, but they also know the Astral's not on Rubik, so he can actually go for that X-play now without having to worry about getting Astral, but the Yule Scepter can catch him, so that Yule's is perhaps a concern and worry.
Radiant's top tower
But hey,
is
you got
under
SD,
attack.
Illusion spam, let's go.
That's nasty. Looks like Centaur wants to TP, but he's got the X mark on him as well, so he'll TP back, clear the wave, come straight to the battle. They could consider going for like the Shrine here, but they just want to keep going in on this bottom lane, force Team Spirit to maybe make a mistake or make a play. You know, you can always feel the CIS teams when they're held back in their base. You know, they're itching to go fight. They're like a caged animal. They just want to go and make something happen. Maybe even force a smoke out of them and loop around behind. But this is FN again going in. Sandy's Eclipse used against him. Drops him to half mana.
That was a Rubik,
Yeah.
For a second I was like, wait, was that the OD? What's he doing?
Did you use it again? Got refresher? No. Chappie's turn. Chappie's turn to go in. And he's going to hit some buildings. Battle Trance stolen out by FNG. That's not a bad steal there for TB especially to use.
Tried to time the Yules to stop the X pullback, but used it a bit too early there, so... Want to get the catch, and Chappie's back in. As the Cheese and BKB can just look to commit for the melee racks, they're slow sieging this one, and Metamorphosis was used. Ooh. They're likely going to wait that out, and then just take a fight with Metamorphosis down. They're picking some of these other lanes, perhaps asking for an X so they can TP home. I think at this point Empire can really go for the high ground push here, knowing that the Metamorphosis is going to be used up fairly soon.
Where did that salve come from? Oh, okay. Kunka's carrying salves around, gods. Kunka.
Oh, it's great. I like to see this. I think it's super value at this stage.
Like
I mean,
this,
you can do the X fountain trips as well, and there's the refresher. Centaur goes back to base, picks up refresher. He's back in the fight. This is they're really using the Kunka to full effect.
it's throwbacks to IG at Frankfurt 2015, when they like 13-0'd EG, and they had Chuan playing Kunka, and he was just like buying clarities and salves and bottles and all that stuff, just bringing them back into the fight and healing people up. And it's been good stuff to see as FN, he runs on in. Yule's up onto the OD though, will slow things down. Aegis of course still up on him, and the full lane of Rax is gone. Mid lane, TB's trying to make something happen there, but the rest of his base is being destroyed.
Aegis can't really commit with the hero, he's too afraid of getting caught out, so... And if anyone wants to, they can just TP back with the X, clear out the wave. Doesn't seem like that's going to be the case. OD Butterfly? Sure, why not?
What?
I don't know, man. I have no comments on this.
We've seen some people stacking butterflies in these qualifiers, you know, just buying 2 butterflies for the Agi, for the stacking evasion.
Huh. I mean, we talked about how Spirit's Draft has turned into basically all their damage being single target right click damage. That's where the Solar Crest pickup was a huge item pickup, because it's all Terrorblade and Ursa. They're doing 80 to 90% of the damage in a team fight. Unless Rubik steals some like crazy spell, which I don't even know what that is. Like Ghost Ship is probably like the highest DPS spell he could steal. So with that in mind, evasion is very good this game. It's armor and evasion against single target right clickers who don't have MKB. So it's a fantastic item for that reason.
I guess it's against like Weave as well, right? There's lots of minus armor, but the jump on in, Iceberg is found King R, but he runs away, sprints out of there, the Yule's onto the Rubik, sends him into the air, and Baskor, is he stuck? Is he trapped? It doesn't care, because DK Phobos the Grave onto him, jumps himself away, but the slow from the Skadi will make this death inevitable unless Is that an Astral from OD? I'm not too sure, but Miposhka and Ghostic have killed a couple in the back end, and that's 3-4 for nil. BZZ last man standing. The buyback from Ursa will come through, but look at this. The TB just gets jumped on by the OD. Butterfly evading a number of hits there from the Illusions, and Ghostic in they go. The damage output looks good, and they've killed them off. The buyback from the Ursa not going to mean too much, and that's 5 down for Spirit. Empire with 5 up, and that's game over. 2-1, Empire take it.
Yeah, really strong showing here in game number 3. They bounced back from a rough early game, and I think this is the kind of game that really shows that Empire is a good contender in this qualifier, because like you have a rough early game, a player like FN who's kind of known for maybe sometimes being a bit emotional, and if he has a rough start can sometimes get thrown off for it. He shows some good composure. He recovers, his team kind of keeps him in check, and they just use their team fight, their great kind of synergy between their lineup with all the save, the damage block to great effect. And I think Spirit just draft wise got beat here in game 3. They went for the Terrorblade pick, in my mind, as a block pick, which meant they had to run an Ursa mid. The lane went a lot better than expected, but the OD just completely is such a counter pick to both TB and Ursa that the TB